What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the Wraparound, where we're going to be breaking down the NHL action going down on Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. If you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate our love and support that we've gotten here over the years at Pickdawgz. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to tune into the Wraparound so I can put you on some free pick NHL winners. If you're looking for my best bets on the board, the games that I absolutely love, head to Pickdawgz.com, click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. Got something for everybody today. If you're looking for some hockey, I got a hoops and hockey, NHL and NBA 5-pack, 3 best bets from the NBA and 2 from the NHL. I've also got my $19 MLB pickoff play in MLB, and I also got an MLB triple play as well, my 3 best bets there that $19 play is included in. So you can jump on a daily package. We can make you some money today and roll it forward. Or the best value of all, hopping on a long-term pass, making that money and building up, a bankroll so we can, get you paid. And the long-term passes make the plays a lot cheaper than buying them individually daily. I know daily packages can tend to get expensive after a little while. So this long-term pass stretches out your value. And like I said, the 3-day pass is actually less than buying each of my daily packages on Tuesday individually. So that sounds like something you're interested in. You can check that out. You can pair me up with any of your other favorite handicappers as part of a multi-capper promotion. But whatever you choose to do, make sure you use that promo code PICK at checkout for 15% off your purchase. But that's going to be later on today. We've still got time to talk about that stuff later on. The drive-thru is going to go down at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're here to talk about a 13-game NHL card on Tuesday. Plenty of money to be made, even though the regular season's winding down. You guys know the drill. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. Our first game on Tuesday's card takes us to the TD Garden, where the Boston Bruins take on the Carolina Hurricanes in what could be an Eastern Conference Finals preview. I mean, these are two of the more solid teams in the NHL, basically across the board. And I think that the under is a strong play here. I keep going back to it. And if you watch the wraparound, my thoughts on these two teams. I think these are two of the strongest goaltending groups in the NHL. For Boston, you obviously got the tandem of Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark. For Carolina, Frederik Andersen's been solid since returning to the lineup. Peter Kochetkov is an up-and-comer. Even Antti Raanta has been a journeyman backup that's capable of giving you a solid start every now and again. Head-to-head between these two teams, the under's been a money machine. I mean, it's hit in each of the last 5 meetings since these teams met in the 2022 playoffs. It's hit in 4 of 5 since these teams met in the 2022 playoffs. I think that we just have another 1st to 3 wins kind of game here. So give me the under 5.5 between the Bruins and the Hurricanes. Now we're going to the Little Caesars Arena, where the Detroit Red Wings take on the Washington Capitals. And it's, believe it or not, still a playoff, positioning battle here between these two teams. I didn't think that we would have that, this late in the season with the current form of these two teams, down the stretch. But the thing is, right now, the Detroit Red Wings and the Washington Capitals are, neck and neck for that final playoff spot in the East. 4 teams are separated by 1 point. The Red Wings, the Penguins, the Caps, and the Flyers are still trying to battle for that final spot. But the thing for me here is you have 2 of those teams that are on 6 and 7 game losing streaks, respectively, in the Caps and the Flyers. And the Capitals right now just look like a team that's playing themselves out of a playoff spot. That's the long and short of it. They're just looking like a team that's running out of steam. The Detroit Red Wings, they're the only team of those 4 that, come into this game off of a win. And they play their better hockey at home. They're actually one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, at least, at home. And they're the best home bar in that 4-team playoff, wild card mix at 22, 12, and 5. So I'm going to take the Detroit Red Wings here at minus 154. I just want no part of the Washington Capitals right now. Now we're going to the Amerant Bank Arena for a matchup between the Florida Panthers and the Ottawa Senators. And a matchup we just saw not that long ago. And a game that I backed the Ottawa Senators in at home, thinking that they would show up here and beat up on the Florida Panthers in a battle of the Kachucks, but it did not pan out that way. The Ottawa Senators lost that game 6-0 on April 4th. And now, they come in, off a win over the Washington Capitals on the road, but winning road games, while the Ottawa Senators have actually been decent at winning them as of late, it's not been their strong suit. They're still 14, 21, and 2 on the road this season. The Florida Panthers are kind of backing into the playoffs. They've still lost 7 of their last 10 games, but head to head, they've owned this matchup this season. They've won each of the 3 meetings this year by a combined score of 14-2. And I just think that right now the Florida Panthers are a team just trying to get their form back as the postseason is around the corner. So give me the Florida Panthers on the puck line in this one. Now we're heading to the Bell Center where the Montreal Canadiens take on the Philadelphia Flyers. And I mentioned that mishmash in the Eastern Conference wildcard scenario where there were 4 teams separated by 1 point, and 2 of those teams had 6 or longer game losing streaks. Like I said, one was the Washington Capitals, the other the Philadelphia Flyers, who just look like they're playing themselves out of a playoff spot right now. The offense has not been able to cut it. They've scored 3 goals or less in 6 of the 7 losses on this losing streak. But not only that, they've given up 4 or more in all 7 losses as well. Last time I checked, when you're scoring 3 or less and you're giving up 4 or more, you're going to have a hard time winning hockey games that way. On the other side of the coin, though, the Montreal Canadiens, I don't know if they're a team that's built to take advantage of that offensively. So rather than mess around and try to pick a side here between 2 teams that are struggling down the stretch, I get why the Flyers are favored because they're the more desperate team, but I think the way to go here is the under 6. I think it's going to be just a slop fest through the full 60 minutes. A lack of offense on both sides. I just can't trust either one of these teams, if we're being honest. So give me the under 6 in this one. Now we're heading to the Prudential Center where the New Jersey Devils take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I'm tempted to take a look at a home dog here that's still fighting for playoff spots, but the problem that I have with the New Jersey Devils is that realistically, I mean, they're 5 points out with 4 games to go. I'm almost ready to stick a fork in the New Jersey Devils, especially because they don't play their best hockey at home. They're a better road team. And I will die on the hill that Kaapo Kähkönen and Jake Allen are not a 1-2 punch that's worthy of an NHL crease. It's not. Both those guys are backups, and they're backup level goalies, and it is what it is. The New Jersey Devils, if they continue with this 1-2 punch in goal next season, I will be fading them until the cows come home and laugh and make money while doing it. The Toronto Maple Leafs, yes, they're in a tough back-to-back spot, but I like this goaltending group for Toronto with Ilya Samsonov and Joseph Woll. Even if Martin Jones were to see action, he's a journeyman backup, but he's still one of the better backups that you can find in the NHL. And I just don't think the New Jersey Devils are serious about making one last push. So give me the Toronto Maple Leafs. I get it. It's a back-to-back. It's not an ideal spot, but there's no back in the Devils for me here. Now we're heading to the UBS Arena where the New York Islanders take on the New York Rangers. And, the New York Islanders, this is a New York Islanders team that's also still fighting for their playoff lives at this point. I mean, right now they're 3rd in the Metropolitan Division, but like I said, they're one of those teams that's in the mix. I mean, if they were to get leapfrogged by Pittsburgh, all of a sudden New York would fall from, the 3rd spot in the Metro to either the second wild card or potentially out of the playoff field entirely. And I get it why, the New York Islanders are worth a look here, given that level of desperation. But the New York Rangers are still fighting for a division title. They're fighting to lock up home ice throughout the Eastern Conference and, excuse me, potentially throughout the playoffs. Obviously, there's the talk about the curse of the President's Trophy and all that kind of stuff. But I still think that side by side, the Rangers are the better team with better goaltending, and head-to-head, they've owned this matchup this season. They've won each of the 2 meetings by a combined score of 11-7, including a 5-2 win at MSG and a 6-5 overtime win at the UBS Arena. So I'm going to go back to the well here with the New York Rangers. I just think that we're getting one of the best teams in the NHL who's been solid on the road at a reasonable price. Give me the Rangers in this one on the money line. Now we're heading to the Amalie Arena where the Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. You have one team with motivation and another without it. And that's the long and short of it. I mean, the Tampa Bay Lightning are still trying to potentially catch the Toronto Maple Leafs for that final spot in the Atlantic Division, even though it looks like they're running out of time to do so. 6 points back with 5 games to go. But not only that, the Columbus Blue Jackets are the worst team in the Eastern Conference. They've struggled on the road. They've been less effective on the road where they're 10-21-7 this season. And not only that, I mean, the Tampa Bay Lightning, if there was one thing we could say about the Lightning all year long, is that now, while they're a 500 team on the road and they've been less effective on the road all year long, they've been playing some of their best hockey at home, as the Lightning have for the better part of the last few years. they did stumble in their last home game against Detroit, but they've also beat quality teams like the Islanders and Bruins on the puck line in recent games. Should have no problem doing that here against the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning here, -1.5 goals. Now we're going to the American Airlines Center where the Dallas Stars take on the Buffalo Sabers. And, the Buffalo Sabers are still in the mix, technically, mathematically, in the Eastern Conference, but they're another one of those teams that is basically 5 points out with 4 games to go. It's another team that unfortunately I think I'm ready to stick a fork in, mainly because the Sabers, they play their best at home. They're a sub 500 team on the road, 17-17-4. The Dallas Stars have been consistently one of the best teams in the NHL across the board. They've been better actually on the road, but they're still solid at home, 23-10-4. And not only that Dallas Stars team getting a win the way they did, 7-4 against the Colorado Avalanche, puts them 5 points up at the top of the Central Division. A win here and a loss by Colorado in their next game hands the Central Division title to the Dallas Stars. I think Dallas wants to just get this over with as soon as possible. They're also still fighting to try to get home ice advantage through the Western Conference Finals. And if pucks bounce their way, we could be talking about it through the entire Stanley Cup playoffs if for whatever reason they won the President's Trophy. So I'm going to go with the team that's more motivated here, or at least I feel should be more motivated, and that's going to be the Dallas Stars. Like I said, I'm sticking a fork in the Buffalo Sabres. Give me the Stars, -1.5 goals. Now we're going to the Bridgestone Arena where the Winnipeg Jets take on the Nashville Predators, and this is one of the tougher games on Tuesday's card, in my opinion, as you have two teams that are still fighting with plenty to play for here. As Nashville still trying to solidify their position in the Central Division standings. The Winnipeg Jets are sort of doing the same, and Nashville trying to get out of the wild card spots, but I don't think they're going to do that here. And I think Winnipeg has a little bit more to play for here, considering they have a game in hand on the Colorado Avalanche and are trying to leapfrog Colorado for home ice in what looks to be their first round playoff series. So I'm going to roll with the Winnipeg Jets here. I said it before, I'll say it again. The Winnipeg Jets, for me, have been one of the more consistent teams home and away in the NHL this season. They're currently on a 3-game win streak. Nashville, they got to win it, and they've been playing some decent hockey at home, but mathematically they're a better road team as it is. And I just think the Winnipeg Jets are, getting some value here at a coin flip price because it's not something that you get often. So give me the Winnipeg Jets in this one at a coin flip price. Now we're going to the Ball Arena for a matchup between the Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild. And I said, speaking of Colorado, like I just said with that game against the Winnipeg Jets, the Colorado Avalanche still have something to play for here. They're trying to make sure the Dallas Stars don't get too far out of reach to get to chase them down for that Central Division title. But if they don't win the Central Division title, they at least want to have home ice over the Winnipeg Jets, because the Colorado Avalanche are the best home team in the NHL this season at 29-8-1. And like I said, there's just a lot more to play for here. The Minnesota Wild, mathematically, they're not out of it. And if they lose this game, you can stick a fork in them. And I think that's exactly what can happen here. The Minnesota Wild, valiant effort to come back from a rough stretch that they had earlier this season. But I can't get there. The Avalanche, like I said, have been so good at home. And they've had a lot of recent success in this matchup. And I just think that the Avs are the better team. So give me the Colorado Avalanche here to win this one in regulation. Get that -196 price down, something around -125. Now we're heading to the Honda Center where the Anaheim Ducks take on the Los Angeles Kings. And to me, this is just a mismatch. The Los Angeles Kings, they're trying to lock up that third spot in the Pacific Division, try to avoid falling into the wild card spots, and get themselves a more favorable matchup. I don't know if that ends up being the case, but the Los Angeles Kings are simply the better team here. And even if they didn't have anything to play for here, they've still played their better hockey on the road this season, 22-14-4 on the road. The Anaheim Ducks have actually been less effective at home. They're 11-25-3 at home this season. They've just been one of the worst home teams in the NHL. And head-to-head, the Kings have owned this matchup with 7 straight wins. I just think this is a blowout from start to finish. I'm going to take the Kings on the puck line here. I just really want no part of the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks have been finished for a little while now, so give me the Kings -1.5. Now we're going to Climate Pledge Arena where the Seattle Kraken take on the Arizona Coyotes. And yeah, another matchup where, I mean, I'm really not feeling either one of these teams here. Both these teams are eliminated from playoff contention. So I'm just going to try to take a shot here at some plus money. You know, the Arizona Coyotes, you know, they've been playing a little bit better down the stretch. They've won 6 of their last 10. And, you know, the Seattle Kraken, less effective at home this season, 16, 17, and 6 at home compared to 16, 14, and 7 on the road. The Arizona Coyotes play their better hockey by a mile at home, but I'm just not in a position where I want to lay, you know, this kind of price with the Seattle Kraken. I think that Arizona could potentially, you know, pull off the upset here. You know, Arizona, they've won both meetings this season. You know, I'll take a shot here on the Coyotes to complete the season sweep of the Kraken at plus 118. Our final game on Tuesday's card takes us to the SAP Center, where the Calgary Flames take on the San Jose Sharks. And Calgary, another team that just played themselves out of a playoff spot. That's the long and short of it. I mean, they had their chances. They were, you know, playing some decent hockey. They had a nice winning record, you know, no less than a month ago. But now they've lost 8 of their last 10. They've lost 3 straight. And it's just a team that I don't want to, you know, any part of. So I'm going to take the same stance in this game as I did in the last one between the Coyotes and the Kraken. I'm going to take a shot here on the Sharks plus the goal and a half, and I'm going to take them on the money line as well at plus 184. I just think the Sharks, you know, for all the struggles that they've had this season, they've actually played better at home. They're 11-24-4 at home compared to 7-27-4 on the road. I think they also, you know, want to be able to send their fans home with at least something, you know, some sort of consolation, maybe win a couple games down the stretch. So, you know, at least their fans get to head home happy. All 2,000 of them that might show up to this game. Sorry, but it just is what it is. And I just don't want to lay any sort of price with the Flames or take a shot on the puck line here. So if it comes back to bite me, so be it. I'm not going to go heavy on this game if at all, but I would go with the Sharks for the value at plus 1.5 and on the money line at plus 184 to round things out. That's it. That's all the NHL action for Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. If you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell in the description of this video below to get notified when the newest and freshest content drops here at Pick Dawgz. If you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium, and make sure to let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Good